Hey guys, welcome back to the Glamour Index. So today's video is going to be a review and demo over a very new product at the drugstore, and I've had this product for about a month and I bought it as soon as it came out, and it is the NYX Highlighting and Contouring Pro Palette. And when this first came out it was $30, and I think people started complaining to NYX about how crazy $30 for a drugstore palette is, so they lowered it to $25. And I'm also going to be comparing it a little bit to the ULTA contour kit, which I recently reviewed, and I'm going to link that video below because I not only review and demo this, but I show you how I highlight and contour every single day. If you have watched the ULTA contour kit review, you'll know that I did rave about this product. I really do like it, but there were some things about it that I didn't like, and I wish that they had like substitute some different shades and stuff like that. And I mentioned that I wanted a lighter taupe shade to contour because this shade right here, which is, you know, the best contouring shade, is super dark and I can work with it, and it looks really scary. You're like, how can a person with lighter skin work with that? These are just such like easy to blend powders that it doesn't take a whole lot of work, so you can get away with it. And I also mentioned that I would have liked to have something like a lighter powder or a yellow banana powder to like sit under the eyes. Because this comes with two shimmery highlights, which I'm not a fan of at all. I love the bronzers. So when I got online and saw that NYX had come out with a highlighting and contouring palette, I not only freaked out, but I saw that there were 3 of the shades that I had mentioned on top of your, you know, regular bronzer and highlight shades, like the shimmery highlights. Did not waste any time. I went ahead and bought it. I will show you guys each shade individually up close, and I will show swatches too. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys that when I first got this palette and started playing with it and stuff, I already figured out that I just wasn't a big fan of it, and I kind of blame myself. Like, I don't know if you guys do this or not, but like, if there's a really cool product that you just really want to like, and you think it's going to be awesome, and you have really high expectations for it, and if it doesn't work, you just kind of blame yourself. You know, it's like, well, maybe it was me, you know, maybe it was the brushes I used, maybe it was my technique, maybe I did it wrong. You know, you always look for excuses to like blame yourself, or I do anyway, instead of blaming the actual product. That's what I did for like the first like few weeks that I had this, because I've had this ever since it launched. First, I'm going to take you guys close up and show you each shade so I can kind of refer back to them as I'm talking about them. So starting with the top row on the highlighters, this right here is one of the shimmery highlighters. This is more of a white pearly shade, and it's got a little bit of like a pink undertone to it. Right next to it is the lighter matte powder. This does have a little bit of coverage, and I'll get into that later. But what I like to do when I set under my eyes is use both of these, and I'll get into how I like that and stuff too. So right next to that is the yellow banana powder. And I was really wanting to try a yellow banana powder because I haven't tried any before, and everyone talks about how brightening and highlighting they are when you apply them like under the eyes or in the center points of your face. And then on the end here is another shimmery highlighter, and this is just more of a skin tone almond shade. It's a little more of a champagne, and it looks a little more natural. It kind of reminds me of the Lorac Perfectly Lit luminizing powder that was discontinued, but it's pretty much the same tone and the same shade. Now going on to the bronzers on the bottom. This one right here is a warm matte bronzer, and this does have a red-orange undertone, and it doesn't have any shimmer whatsoever. Then right next to it is a shimmery bronzer, and this is pretty much the same like color and tone as this one right here. It's very warm and orange undertone, but it's just got that gold shimmer in it. And then right here is a taupey gray color that's perfect for contouring. It's very ashy and cool tone, so it's perfect for mimicking the natural shadows in your face. And then this one right here is the only one in the palette that I haven't tried because it is a darker version of the taupe shade right here. And this one right here is also a cool tone ashy color that would be perfect for contouring on deeper skin tones. So now I'm going to get into each shade and if I like it and all that stuff. Whoa! So starting with this shade right here, the shimmery pearly white highlighter. It doesn't give that, you know, that shimmery glitter to your skin. It just gives a nice sheen. The light reflects off your skin so beautifully. So yeah, I really do like this. And I haven't tried the Hourglass Ambient powders, so I'm not comparing it to those. But from what I've seen from people on YouTube using those powders, this looks very similar, and so does this one, the shimmery highlight down here. I'm not saying it's a dupe or anything because I had no idea about those Hourglass ones from personal experience. But it just gives a really nice glow from within, and like I said, I think this is going to be really beautiful on fair or porcelain skin tones, or, you know, of course, skin tones like mine, but especially those skin tones, because where it's probably hard to find a highlight that's light enough for your skin, this is just going to give you that really natural, like, glowy, dewy skin. So right next to it is the matte light powder. I forgot to say that when I first started swatching these, like, these all swatch incredibly well, and you guys will see that in the swatches. They have such good pigmentation, but I think that sometimes we can kind of be deceived by products that swatch well because they may not apply well to the skin, or they may not, you know, have a good enough texture, but this does have a good soft texture, and like I said, it does have a bit of coverage. It's not like a full coverage powder or anything. It's just kind of like a light coverage. It just adds that little touch of, you know, just that little extra something something. But the problem I have with this is that it's not light enough for me. Like if you're someone who's my shade or lighter, this is going to be just like a skin tone powder for you. I have it under my eyes today, and I am wearing every single shade in here except this one right here, the darker taupe. But I use these two, the banana and the light powder, to set my under eye concealer. But like, it just kind of blends in with the rest of my skin. Like, it doesn't stand out or anything. But if you're darker than me, like if you're a light medium skin tone, or maybe even tan, I don't know. I think that's more of like a preference thing if you want something that light. But if you're like a light medium skin tone, or a medium, this would probably show up pretty well on you, especially if you mix it with a yellow. But on me and on people that's lighter than me, I just don't think this is going to do much for you other than add a little bit of coverage. And then going to the yellow banana powder. Once again, I think that this is too close to a skin tone, especially when you mix them together. And this also carries a little bit of coverage as well, but I feel like if you are someone with a yellow undertone in your skin, then this may just like look like a skin tone powder. If you're someone who is very, very light, it may make you look like you have jaundice or something, so you might want to be careful with that. It's too soft of a yellow. I just don't feel like it carries enough of the yellow pigment in it that just is supposed to be very highlighting. So that one's kind of a dud. But going on to the last shimmery highlighter, the almond color highlighter, I really do like this, and you can get a very subtle highlight out of this if you want to, but I did build it up today. I'm wearing the almond color one on this side of my face today. As you can see, as the light hits my skin, it just captures the light so well. And if you're someone who has a light medium to like a tan skin tone, then this is going to be so beautiful. It's going to look so natural and just give your face such a nice glow. Even if you're someone with a deeper skin tone, I think this would still be so beautiful on you and just give such a nice, like, natural, subtle glow. Now, going on to the cons of the palette. I'm not a fan of these bronzers at all. These two right here particularly, I do mix them together because I don't like a straight up matte bronzer and I don't like a straight up shimmer. So the reason I don't like these two is because of the texture. They're not soft and they're not creamy, especially like the Ulta Contour Kit bronzers are. The Ulta ones are very, very soft and very creamy, and they just have such a nice texture. These do not at all. These are very, very hard to blend on your face, and I am wearing them today, and you probably think, why are you complaining? Your skin looks, you know, pretty good. But it's just the process of blending and building it up and stuff. It's just, and it's one of those products that it's like, wherever you lay the brush first, where it's so hard to blend, it's like it's gonna stick right there. So I'm not a fan of these two. I don't like working with them. So now for the taupe shade. So this one I'm kind of on the fence about too, but I do like it. But it is a lot smoother than these two. It's a lot easier to blend out and work with. But you gotta make sure that you tap off a lot of the excess. So I tap it off on the, like I tap it off here, and then I tap it off on the back of my hand and try to get off as much product as possible, because this is one of those that, you know, if you lay down too much, it's going to be a little bit harder to blend out, but this one is softer, so it is going to blend out a little bit easier. And then this one I can't really say much about. It is just a deeper version of this taupey gray tone right here. And I think this would be a good color for deeper skin tones to contour with, but I can't say much about it, so I'm not even going to talk about it. I forgot to mention that these do pop out. There's just like a little indentation here where you can put your finger in, and they pop out super easy. There's no name on the back of them or anything. They're not magnetic, so you couldn't just like directly take these out and put them in a Z palette or something. But NYX hasn't released the refillable pans yet, so they will have these shades, I'm pretty sure, and they'll probably have some more. And I'm hoping that NYX takes a constructive criticism of like YouTubers and bloggers and stuff before they release their refillable pans, because I think that these products need a lot of work. I do like the highlight shades, and even these two in the middle, the matte powders, they're not bad. I do like them, but are they worth the $25? No. Even the taupe shade, like, it's a nice cool tone shade, and I feel like a good contour shade in the drugstore is really, really hard to come by. It is a pretty decent powder, but they also just came out with new HD blushes, and they have one in the taupe shade. So maybe that's something you want to check out, and like if that's something that you're wanting from this palette, maybe that's something you could check out. And I think that's only like $8 or $9 maybe. They're really inexpensive. I haven't tried it. I'm going to. The shimmery highlighters they're the strong points in the palette. Do I think it's worth $25? No, but I'm hoping that this goes on sale because I know that Ulta always has NYX sales, and they always, you know, have like 40% off or buy one get one. They haven't since NYX released their new products, so I don't know when they're going to do that. But I would definitely wait until like you had a coupon like for $3.50 off, or you know, NYX goes on sale altogether. I would definitely wait to pick this up. Overall, I think NYX had a good plan. I love how innovative they are for being a drugstore brand, and I kind of recommend waiting until NYX comes out with their refillable pans, because hopefully they take the criticism of all of us reviewers and stuff and they make the refillable pans better than these. And I feel like they were kind of pushing the line when they reached it for $30, but I mean, there were some people who were willing to pay that for NYX. So now I'm going to cut to the demo and show you guys how I apply it, because I feel like you can kind of, if you can see what I'm talking about as I'm applying it, it'll be more beneficial to you guys. So if you guys want to see how I highlighted and contoured, then stay tuned. So first I'm going to set my under eye concealer with the light and the yellow powder. I'm going to mix those two together and just tap this right under my eye. I'm going to kind of show you guys what it looks like compared to the side without the powder and stuff. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but it does have a light amount of coverage. There is some darkness right around here, and this side did conceal it. So as you can see, nothing looks too like bright under the eyes or anything. It just looks like I'm just the same color. Now I'm going to go in and bronze, and like I said, I'm going to use these two bronzers right here on the left. I tapped off the excess. I'm just going to start applying it. And you'll see in the final look that I can get a decent look. Like, I can get it to look the way I want. It's just the process of getting there. I feel like if you know what you're doing, you can kind of fix things pretty easily. And it doesn't look bad, it just, I want something that's easy to work with. So now I'm going to go in with the taupe shade right here and start contouring just a little bit. So I'm tapping off the excess a lot, and then I'm going to tap it on the back of my hand to get off any excess product, because it's just a lot easier to work with. And this taupe shade is a lot easier to like blend out than the bronzer shades are. Like, there's a pretty big difference. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply blush. If you highlight and contour, do not skip out on blush. It's literally the most important step of any of them. So I'm applying Makeup Geek Romance, which is a really pretty like pinky coral with gold shimmer in it. So I'm just applying this from the apples back. Now for highlighter, I'm going to use both of the highlighters in this palette. I'm going to use one on each side of my face so you guys can see, you know, the difference in them. So I'm going to apply the really pretty like whitish pearl highlighter on the left side of my face. Just going to tap that on the cheekbones. I hope you guys are able to see what a pretty glow it gives. I think you can. Like, you can see it's like it just like attracts a lot. So pretty. I'm going to go in with like the champagne almond color on the right side of my face. Now, I didn't like this one when I first started using it and first applied it. Actually, for like the first like 18 times I use this. So there is that one, and that one also gives a really pretty sheen. If you have like light to medium or tan skin, like I said before, this one, the almond champagne one, would be really pretty. And then if you have like a fair or porcelain skin tone, then the whitish pearly one would be so pretty. So here is the side with the pearly white highlighter. It's really pretty. And here is the almond color highlighter. They're both really pretty in their own way. This, for me, this one is more natural than one that's more like an almond color, because it just kind of looks like I'm glowing from within. And this is the one that I liked least before. And then this one, it gives you more of that angelic highlight, I guess. So, and I mean, they're not powdery at all. Like, you really can't see them on your skin. And I like that they threw in 2 shimmery ones for, you know, people of different skin tones. And then this shade right here, I can't really say much about. It is a cool tone shade, so I do like that they threw in 2 matte cool tone, like taupey shades for contouring. I don't know how much the refillable pans are going to be, but if they're pretty reasonable, which I think they, you know, obviously will be, I would say wait until the refillable pans come out and then, you know, kind of pick and choose. In my opinion, $25 is a little steep for this. You are getting 8 colors, and that's how I looked at it when I first bought it. You know, it was $30, and I knew that I could have spent, you know, $10 more to buy the Anastasia contour kit and have a really good quality one that I knew would work very well. But I just figured, okay, $30 for 8 pans, it's not that big of a deal. And so overall, if you're in need of bronzers or contour shade, I would go for the ULTA contour kit, which is $18. And if you want highlight shades, go with the NYX one. But I mean, $25 just for 4 highlights, I wouldn't even do that if I were you. But that's how I feel. Use the information as you will. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.